I want to hit a quick story about fighting China. This is kind of a little bit off track, but, in the grand scheme, we're in this coronavirus era. More Americans are alert for the first time that, and we didn't get to the bottom of it yet, whether the coronavirus was just a mistaken emission from, the wet markets and just, something that unintentionally transferred to humans, whether it was cooked up artificially in one of the Wuhan bioweapons labs, whether it was the Wuhan labs working with the virus that came from the wet markets, where everyone, all sorts of experts spout off and say, oh no, it was this, not that, you're crazy. No, it was this, not that, you're crazy. We'll get to the bottom of it. But the end of the day was China knowingly allowed this to be released, hid it from the world, communicated with the head of the World Health Organization to keep it quiet, allowed it to spread all over the world. They have tremendous liability. But that's not even the worst thing about China. And to be clear, I'm not talking about the Chinese people. The Chinese people are the country of China, filled with good people who would love to have freedom, who want a good life, who are not members of the Communist Party. When I say the virus, the Wuhan virus, it is the fault of the Communist Party of China, Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, the evil, repressive, totalitarian Chinese Communist Party holds responsibility. And in America, in addition to everything related to the virus, even before the virus came along, more and more Americans were talking about the dangers in this country of the fact that we have been submissive to China as they continue to try to grow. They want to become the singular superpower in the world. They are determined to become the superpower. They're using their Belt and Road Initiative to spread their control with technology and other means all over the world. Their 5G, Huawei technology. China has a very overt, they don't even hide it anymore, they want to become the one single superpower. America's been taken advantage of by China in all sorts of ways. Our trade policies, up until the time President Trump corrected them, our trade policies involve extremely unfair trade policies, forced many factories, many businesses out of America over to China because we can't even afford to be here anymore, have the manufacturing occur in America. We had Chinese stealing secrets from the way that when they build things in their country, they're stealing trade secrets, or they're stealing technology. We just let it go for decades. We're finally stopping that under President Trump. And I'll tell you a big piece that people are concerned about, what I want to get to here is, in America, every time we have a Chinese company that is on our stock exchange, they don't follow the rules that every other company, American company on the stock exchange has to follow in terms of disclosure and transparency. And every time we help a Chinese company grow and get more power and get more money and get more customers, we are enabling the repression of the Chinese Communist Party. We are helping the totalitarian, repressive Chinese Communist Party. This is another step that President Trump has taken to try to help our country be freed of that problem, freed of that effort. So in Washington, again, the Center for Security Policy, same place that Fred Fleitz, who we just talked to a moment ago in this show, they have been central in trying to push the idea that they did not want to have pension funds in America invested in Chinese companies. So we had an effort within China to push to have, and we have, sadly in America, American companies pushing the investment of our pensions, our public pensions of all sorts of kind of employees, pushing those pension funds to invest in Chinese companies, which is the same thing as sending a financial donation to the Chinese Communist Party. So Center for Security Policy and others banded together. President Trump intervened to prevent the federal Thrift Savings Plan, TSP, from investing an estimated $4.5 billion, B as in boy, billion, in Chinese Communist Party companies. Trump went along with this and said, you know what, we're going to stop. We're not going to continue to invest that kind of money in in companies that essentially you can, with China, you can say, well, those are just, they're not really government, they're not all government run, government owned. Yeah, they are. I know China was trying to say, oh yeah, we have private ownership. It's not all. Every company in China is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, and Chinese Communist Party gets benefit from how financially well the company does. So President Trump stepped up, just said, no more of it. We're not going to have he prevented the Federal Thrift Savings Plan, the TSP, for investing in money in the Chinese Communist Party. Lots of other things that he did, but I want to get on to. So we had actually with China other efforts to shut them down. FBI, we have Attorney General Barr very, very committed to try to stop espionage and disloyalty. FBI arrested a researcher for NASA who allegedly failed to report his ties to China. And one last thing in closing out this bit about China today, I just want to tell you this amazing thing. You pay tax dollars. We all do. Tax dollars. And tax dollars, sadly, in Washington still go to fund public broadcasting stations. So PBS, public broadcasting, has received millions of dollars in federal funds, so PBS partnered with Chinese foreign agent to create a pro-Beijing film. Please think about that. A pro-Beijing. We're using our tax dollars so PBS can make a film touting the greatness of Beijing and China and communism. This is not okay.